Oh, hey guys. So I'm going to play this video. It's 23 minutes and 37 seconds. But Internet God just informed us that Press NH Now just got arrested. That's solid. Erica, thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it as always. But yeah, here we are. We're going to, again, I'm going to show this video. It's 23 minutes. I don't know how long it actually goes about me. This guy literally labeled his video KFAR. He restreamed somebody else's stream as an attempt to get them more views. He has 133,000 subscribers and managed 177 views and 8 likes. So clearly that means most of the people viewing were hate watching. It's just going to show how much I live rent free in the penthouse of broken system, broken trust, and 4 public safety's heads. I was completely going to miss this video. Didn't see it when it came out. Didn't see it today. Somebody, I don't know if they want me to say their name, emailed me about this because it was so deliciously awful. These guys are going to start spouting nonsense almost immediately. I'm going to wreck them as per usual. Enjoy the video. I'm going to go offline here and go grab myself some coffee. Again, enjoy.
Etc. Before 2000, I was strictly Republican, but just if anybody, I can't remember who asked, but I saw the pop up, and Matt Sergeant, hell, I got ducks, and they filed all kinds of post complaints and called my chief with complaints. None of them stuck. Yeah, when people bullshit complaints, that they don't stick. You don't get as far in military law enforcement and civilian law enforcement as Matt Sergeant retired. With being some kind of KFAR fraud wrangler or generally specific.
They wouldn't last long, those guys, if they did get employed with the attitudes that they carry today. And I think that falls back to what I was crediting Ariel to have said just before I come on. The people that we're talking about, you specifically named 3, who wants them to work for them?
I got a call a few months ago asking me to go back, not to the same place, but to a different location that's fairly close to the old place. So there's that. Chris doesn't think that people who are factually and legally correct on subjects that he disagrees with us about, he doesn't want those people in law enforcement. That's who we should have in law enforcement. The attitude of 2 woman beaters in broken system, broken trust, and 4 public safety, their opinions shouldn't matter to anyone.
For them, like I'm a boss. I've had several employees throughout my 23 years, and if I had anyone that acted like any of the 3 of them, I'd fire them. I'd find a reason to fire
them. So somebody that holds you accountable, you would fire them. Somebody who tells you, I believe I heard it through the grapevine. Chris scammed a little old lady of $5,000, and the only reason they paid her back is because it was either pay her back or go to jail. Yeah, I would have probably told him, hey, let's not steal $5,000 from a little old lady. If you have 3 international clients, I would probably advise you against putting hands on women on the internet and genuinely making yourself look like just an incompetent buffoon on the internet. Oh, I've been a boss for 23 years. How'd that go? You whittled yourself down to 3 international clients, and apparently it's my fault that now you have 1, even though there's literally videos on the internet of you making yourself look like a moron. Like, okay. Gifted 10 memberships, Greg. Thank you very much. Chris is the people in the military that you write up because they're lazy, arrogant pieces of shit who need to get knocked down a peg.
Hey, Chris, you mentioned earlier where KFAR was working and that you talked to his superiors. Do you have any phone calls or recordings or anything like that?
I did record it, but I don't want to. I'm kind of like, I kind of still have some hope for these people to have a little decency and humanity to get back on the horse and go to work again.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like,
you
I
can be
don't.
complete. Yeah, you can be completely naive and believe that. But I mean, I was naive and believed that for a while. Let's just put a couple things on the table here with Kfar. He's number one. He's the guy that expected my minor children to come over to his house without ever meeting their dad. That's how inappropriate, and that's how much of a lack of boundaries that this kid has. And
All right, to address that, yeah, that's not at all what happened. My daughter was having a birthday party, and I invited the guardians of both of his children to come over and hang out, which they chose to. The fact that Josh, to my knowledge, isn't a guardian of either of his kids means that no one should be talking to him. Crazy, right? Yeah, and about the job thing, I'm going to go FOIA request myself tomorrow. So that should be fun. I'll let you guys know how that goes. If anybody had anything on me, it would have come out already. I'm going to give you the highlights of my career. I found some bad checks in a guy's shoes while searching him. Turns out he had stolen them and was using them fraudulently from like Georgia to Michigan. So there's that. I have exactly 0 prisoner complaints, unlike Georgia Transparency, who has like 63. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. But again, yeah, Erica is now the legal parents of one of Josh's children, and the other one he disowned to run from a warrant. So it's funny to me that these people have such an insulated echo chamber that they can't even be honest with each other because they know that their subscribers will be like, okay. Yeah, if I invite grown adults to a birthday party to hang out and they bring children, I shouldn't have to meet their dad who has literally threatened my children and threatened me. Like, that doesn't make sense.
And there's something very wrong with him. And I mean, I've tried to figure it out, make sure I'm just not projecting that onto myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Yeah.
but everything I'm saying is.
Speaking on that, my daughter went to Erica's house to have a sleepover with the child in question. So the fact that Josh is trying to paint me as something that Chris supports, if you catch my drift, is rather disingenuous.
Is the truth as far as he wanted my minor children to come over to his house. He invited them to come over to his house without ever meeting me, their dad. So that'll tell you what you need to know. He also gave me, because I did question him about where he worked. For some reason, he is very protective. He does not want anybody finding out where he worked.
Because at the beginning of me doing this, I exposed Josh to the point that he lost everything. Nobody watches his videos. Nobody watches his live streams.
So that leads me.
We've seen the analytics for that. Josh told me at the beginning if he ever found out where I worked, he would immediately go up there and harass them. Therefore, I did not tell him where I worked. I feel like that's a pretty common sense response. But is Josh going to say that to this echo chamber? I guess not.
Leads me to believe that it was a disciplinary issue. I have no proof of this, keep in mind.
So why say it?
But he also, I asked him about it. His response was very curious. He said that it was because the chief where he worked didn't have anybody's back. That was a very curious response. All I know.
Let's get into this a little bit here. So where I worked, again, I'm not going to say it. Where I worked, the chief ultimately had to resign. They're currently down double-digit officers because no one wanted to work for him. Also, a bunch of his higher-ups were also forced to leave. And it's not just the old heads that wanted to leave and didn't like the guy. The old heads were leaving. The people who they were putting through the academy walked on the streets one day and said, I'm out, and would leave to another city. Some people that they were putting through the academy, mid going through the academy, would go, yeah, I'm going to go work somewhere else.
I know is he has gone to every length possible. He even reached out to other YouTubers to make sure that folks did not find out where he worked.
I don't recall ever reaching out to anyone because I can think of like 5 people that know where I work because I've shared the tales and things as proof with those people. So I didn't reach out to anyone to say, oh, don't don't spill the beans on where I work. Again, he's just said he kind of exposed himself. Oh, I'm going to make these claims, but I have no proof to back it up. This is like me calling Josh someone on the registry and then just saying, well, I don't have any proof, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's not how I operate. If I say things, it's because I have factual evidence to back it up.
So if you have any proof of this, I would love to.
Also, like I said, it's 23 minutes. I watched the first 5. So yeah, exactly. KT said, FYI, if I'm not telling any of you yahoos where I work, nor should you. Nor should you. This is exactly the reason why nobody on our side should let them know anything about you. What they're trying to do now, Josh has done it in the past. For Public Safety is doing it now. You better stop talking about me or things will happen. And it's like, is that a threat, Chris? Like, you already threatened to come to Michigan and assault me, which I don't think you would go back home to Indiana if you came up here, but like, it's just a scare tactic from these people. Josh, the perpetually unemployed loser hobbit, has the audacity to talk about anybody else in regards to work has a complete joke. Yes. These guys seem to be jealous because I'm the man that they will never be, and I'm half their age. Josh has 2 children, and he's basically the sperm donor at this point. He's not actually a father to anyone. For Public Safety, thank heavens no girl let him impregnate her, like straight up. Yeah, all a bunch of trust me bro talk with 0 receipts. Shocker, right? William Stryker for $1.99. Funny how BSBT won't come after armed veterans. KFAR, you back up everything. He just keeps saying things that he can't back up even if he tried. Again, that's why I'm going to go FOIA request myself tomorrow, hang out with some people, and then I'll put it out. I'm not going to put out where I worked, but I'll put out all the information that I FOIA'd. My career at the police department consisted of booking people and not getting complaints. I literally thought to myself, how could I hem myself up the least amount of things? Oh, that's right. Do my job, keep my head down. And that's what I did. If you want, I'll even try to FOIA request my resignation email that I sent in. That's what I'll try to FOIA. I tried to look at it, but then I remembered I sent it from my work email, which doesn't exist on my phone at the moment. Because it's mandatory to tell a frauditor your employer when you start YouTube channels so they can harass you at work. I have to audit my own FOIA request. If I thought about auditing it all the way to the door, but I'm like, some of you people play, I think KTZ, you were talking about playing it the other day, like that Geo Tracker game. I know that there's somebody somewhere that can be like, I've seen that wall before. I know exactly where that is. Yeah, it's it's my right to invite who I want. I'm an adult, not a kid. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. For Public Safety 2 is here. For Public Safety 2 in my head is the equivalent of the good broken system, broken trust. All right, back to this video. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to actually play, so this could be a rather quick stream.
To see it.
Yeah, hit me up behind the scenes. I'll share with you what I got on old Kevin. I look, guys, I researched him because of the unwarranted attacks that he helped Kaiser do on Tiffany's
Well, they're very
children.
dangerous. They're very dangerous.
Let's put a pin in that real quick. Yeah, that's what happens. We like to fuck frauditors up. So we'll talk about what Chris said. I'm dangerous, and I made an unprovoked attack on Chris and Tiffany. I didn't cover your fucking, what's it called, video. You getting stuck in an elevator, which alone probably cost you one of your international clients because they're like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Second, I made a video, I believe it was the Louisville video, where he put hands on the chief secretary or whatever that lady was when Chris was trying to run through a secure door that was locked. I made that video and he started blowing me up with emails and comments, started blowing Jennifer up with emails and comments, trying to threaten me and scare me with a lawsuit, which would have gotten tossed just like his lawsuit did against all those officers that raided his house. Last I checked, you guys can probably do a better job of this. Last I checked, 26 or 27 of the defendants in a case of 29 or 30 got their shit dismissed because it's just a scare tactic from these people. I made that video and he tried to threaten me. And then since then, I cover him very irregularly. I'll cover his live streams where, like this, he's obviously talking out of his ass. I'll cover that. And apparently that's an unwarranted attack. Like, dude, you've threatened to assault me. You've threatened underage children. You've threatened other people with guns on Facebook. Nothing is an unwarranted attack. You fucked with me. I exposed you. End of story. That's it. My name's going on the lawsuit. Yeah, apparently I'm also wanted by the sheriff department, which if you search my name in Clemis or whatever the hell Indiana has, my information pops up. My address, my phone number, my full name, my date of birth, my social security number. If a sheriff department in America wanted to find me, it would be very easy to call up my phone and be like, hey, is this Kevin? It's not that difficult.
Dangerous folks. The lies they tell are very dangerous. They can actually have very real consequences. So,
what lies? Josh is going to say something extremely funny here in a second, but what lies? And I'm dangerous. You came to my house. You doxed my children's school and threatened to go there. You threatened to bring violent convicted criminals to my neighborhood during Halloween to harass and threaten me. Chris has threatened violence on me. Josh has threatened violence on me and others. Well, I guess so has Chris. You're both convicted woman beaters. Like, how am I the dangerous one? The guy without a record is the dangerous one. Like, on what planet does that make sense? And now here comes Josh with the funny.
So
Right. Well,
for me, this isn't just me trying to bash another YouTuber. This isn't me coming up here trying to, focus on somebody other than myself. I do know myself, and knowing myself, I know these guys. I know the stuff that they're up to. You know what I'm saying? I used to pull shit like them. I was a lot like them in my younger years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to bash on them, but I am trying to warn the YouTube community about getting too involved with these guys, because as you can see, Kaiser, same thing. Kaiser has no respect for boundaries. He'll call CPS on a stranger he doesn't even know.
He's referring to, I'm assuming, this community has been calling CPS on Jeremiah for years. I believe that's who he's talking about, because they both, for some reason, Broken System, Broken Trust has streamed with Jeremiah before, and For Public Safety has actually defended Jeremiah Payne before, but they're defending Jeremiah. And it's like, we've been calling on him for years because he's obviously fucked up, forcing a little girl to be homeless. And his grand scheme is, I'm going to e-beg on YouTube until I make it, and that's how I'm going to provide for my family. And again, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, they just saw some random person for no reason, and that's why they're calling. It's like, no, it's Jeremiah Payne. He has a name. And if you can't see that child needs to be taken, then you are fucking dumb. I almost said a word that would have got me canceled, but they're fucking dumb. They make Forrest Gump look like a Mensa candidate.
He'll brag about it on the internet. He'll get that JJ Scarborough guy. He'll get him involved in ethics complaints, right? Like, these guys are bad people.
They promote their audience to attack people's children.
I've actually gone out of my way. I say it in almost every video. Don't go and harass these people. Don't go do this. Don't go do that. Right now, don't go harass Broken System, Broken Trust. Don't go harass For Public Safety. Their lives are already in the shitter. Don't go harass them.
They've actually, Tiffany published a video on official misconduct. You can see a video where she caught a panel right after they were told, the group in the panel were told to do this. And they did a whole hour-and-a-half long live stream talking about how people can lie and call on people's children.
I actually covered that stream, and that's not what was talked about whatsoever. But because they wanted to be the perpetual victims, yeah, we're bad people. Bullshit. Exactly. There's 183 people here. Ooh, wow. So I want to say it was like Doc Lanau and that panel, they were discussing how there needs to be a better system for CPS in one state to have a record on someone, and if they flee to a different state, for that record to follow them. Because right now, Jeremiah is bouncing from city to city and going back state to state to stay ahead of CPS. And, well, if you want to harass them, I can't stop you. We're all adults. But I'm just saying, don't go and harass them on account of me. Don't go and harass them on account of little old me. But yeah, that's what they were talking about. And Chris and Tiffany both made, oh, they just want people to have their kids taken away that disagree with us. It's like, no, that's not what happens. Notice Tyrants Beware stopped talking about Kafar's kids once it was exposed that his 13-year-old got pregnant under his watch. I'm just going to stay over here and sip my tea about that one. But like, one of his subscribers genuinely tried to hurt me and my kids because he doesn't like the information, the factual information that I'm putting out about Chris. Chris is sitting here saying, oh, they harass us. And it's like, my guy, you literally have done the same thing, if not worse. Major Johnson, hello from Fort Wayne, Indiana by chance? I may or may not have lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana for a time.
That they don't like.
Yeah, I mean, well, number one, it's completely inappropriate. I also wanted, on a different note, I did want to let you know I am restreaming this to my audience. You might get a little bit more engagement, especially with...
You might get a little bit more engagement. Dude, you have 133,000 subscribers. And 177 people have watched this video in a day and a half. I currently have 187 people watching right now. You're not helpful, Josh. You're just not. Go back to work at Wendy's.
With the title that I put in there, you might get some folks coming over.
Yeah, I never have a problem with people restreaming from my panel. But by the way, I want to get a plug in there. All panelists on my channel are independent. Being on this panel does not mean they are friend or foe. It means they have...
If people were on my panel knowingly defaming and slandering other people, I would immediately make the same play and be like, all panelists are independent. Just saying.
Something to say. What Muxter, Ariel, Killentime, and I are trying to do is give everyone a chance to talk. And I reminded myself of that when I realized broken system, broken trust. There are 2 or 3 people running around with that name, and I honestly don't know which one you are. You do authenticate as broken system, broken trust.
There's 3 of them running around, and he's by far the worst.
So I believe. But
just go to my channel. I doubt there's anybody else that has a channel that will come back like my channel.
Yeah. But I do know the 2 or 3 versions of you. One of you out there is controversial. So if anyone's like, oh no, he's on Old Sarge Finkel's channel, I give everyone a chance.
So KTZ, this is old Sarge Finkel who has come at me sideways about my time in the military for whatever reason. This is his panel. Broken System, Broken Trust seems to have either started a restream when they brought me up or somehow clipped it to make it only this big or this like long. Rose Tyler, member for 5 months. Hello, everyone. Hello there. But yeah, this is old Sarge Finkel. Untrackable Team Bustcast. I have no idea who that is. So there's that. And the other 2 are the usual dipshits.
The only exception is whether you're a friend or foe. If I know a known foe of yours comes up in the backstage, I don't let you up while your enemy is up there. And I don't know if BSBT and For Public Safety are friends or foe of each other.
Well, Finkel, for me, it's not about friend or foe. For me, it's about the truth. If anybody's willing to talk about...
Motherfucker, you wouldn't know the truth if it dick slapped you in the face. Flat out. You would not know the truth if anything happened. You put out this knowingly fake persona on the internet. You guys can ask Miss Kfar. You can ask Erica. I am this guy when I turn my laptop off and walk away. Same guy. Josh has to put out knowingly false information to make himself feel better than, tell people that he's a near 50-year-old failure. How many times has Josh knowingly lied to us? every time he opens his mouth. Look at this. It's about the truth. And then you proceed to lie the entire time. It's 6 minutes in. Neither one of these, I have to watch my mouth. None of these people have told the truth. Finkel may have told the truth. This untrackable guy, he hasn't said a word, so I'm going to assume he hasn't lied yet. Broken System, Broken Trust, and For Public Safety have done nothing but lie. Did something happen, or are they still obsessed with you? I covered a Broken System, Broken Trust live stream last week where he was on Hand Banana talking to Mike Cerrone, which was hilarious. For Public Safety, I don't even remember the last time I covered For Public Safety. So yeah, it's just me living in their heads to the point where I don't even check For Public Safety's page anymore. And the only reason I check Broken System, Broken Trust is because he will come up in the chat and I'll go back to see if he has made any gain in viewership compared to his subscribers. Josh wouldn't know the truth if his fake guru accidentally told him. Boy, do I have a video to share with you, Peg Leg Finance, about Broken System, Broken Trust being Paul Unslave's yes man in his latest live stream.
About the truth and be prepared to ask some questions and get to some logical, bring up some logical questions. I'll be a friend of anybody that's on the side of logic, truth.
Well, yeah, I guess my over-explained point is whether you're on my panel does not mean you're a friend or a foe. But let's say, for example, generally specific, if he was on the panel first and For Public Safety popped up in the basement, what we're trying to do is not let For Public Safety up. We actually like For Public Safety. We don't like generally specific,
which should scream volumes for your moral compass. To my knowledge, generally specific isn't a convicted woman beater. He isn't facing, what is For Public Safety facing? Like 13 new charges, a few of them being felonies, while generally specific says mean things about frauditors occasionally. Come on now. But yeah, see, Alan, I'm assuming they want me to put the lotion on the skin because they both want to wear my skin.
But we're trying to keep belligerents apart from each other on our channel, unless they coordinate some sort of debate like we saw on Raging Tomato last night. That was a great debate. Two belligerent parties coordinated with Raging Tomato.
That was a pathetic excuse of a debate. Let's just be honest. It was pathetic from beginning to end. Based Oracle had no business asking some.
Okay, so by the end of the stream, if you guys can remind me, if you guys can remind me, I just got an email from a subscriber who was watching Wrangler's channel. Apparently, he just showed a picture of a bunch of his own subscribers eating dinner with Chris's mother, which again should tell you Chris's family doesn't even like Chris. The BSBT might just want my teeth. Could be.
Somebody, a skilled debater, to debate with him unless he had any clue of what he was doing, which he did not. He went up there just like so many other YouTubers, spouting a bunch of claims that were false. He got called out on them and he looked like an idiot.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's go back. I didn't catch any of that.
Unless he had any clue of what he was doing, business, to be honest. It was
coordinated with Raging Tomato.
That was a pathetic excuse of a debate. Let's just be honest. It was pathetic from beginning to end. Based Oracle had no business asking somebody, a skilled debater, to debate with him unless he had any clue of what he was doing, which he did not. He went up there just like so many other YouTubers, spouting a bunch of claims that were false. He got called out on them and he looked like an idiot.
That sounds like when Josh gets on panel with anyone who has a high school education or better. Josh literally reads from a script, or at this point, he probably memorized the script. That's the only thing in his brain. And he gets shit on by everyone every single time. BSBT is monopolizing the other guys. Anytime Broken System, Broken Trust gets on panel with anyone, that's what he tries to do. Which is why I don't get on panel with him anymore. But when I did, I made sure if he was trying to do this too much, I told him, Josh, stop. The adults are trying to talk.
Just put the facts on the table, not be politically correct about it. Just call it for what it is because everybody saw it.
I wasn't speaking to whether I'm pro, was it Based Oracle, or pro, who's the other guy, Larry Wilson, Craig Wilson?
Who, Andrew?
Ed, so maybe Peg Leg Finance can kind of vouch for me on this. So the way YouTube works email wise, if any of you guys comment on a video, I get a comment or I get an email. So of those 4,700 emails, 99 of them are this person commented. But if I go over to my YouTube Studios, I can see the comments. So I just deal with everything on YouTube Studio and don't even check my email. So when I'm checking and it just says from YouTube, I just keep that shit scrolling. Fraud at Terminator. I can maybe try to get somebody to throw it up there, but Fraud at Terminator will be having a live stream Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. And I'll leave this up here for a little bit. Mark, Josh adds nothing of value to conversations. It's how to say this. I'm not going to say how to say this politically correct. God, I'm really trying to like figure out what I'm trying to. He doesn't add anything to the conversation because the entire premise of what he's trying to say is a line of thinking that got debunked in like the 60s and 70s. And for some reason, his dumbass has just continued it into 2024. And it's just like, at what point, like, great example, he went to White Lake, Michigan. Rumor has it he's back in White Lake, Michigan. He was in White Lake, Michigan, got caught up with that warrant because he was driving without a license, had a warrant out. They picked him up, put him in jail, got him in court, finally got him in court where he couldn't run. And instead of trying to fight the good fight, his out, and I heard Paul do this as well, his out is, oh, well, I want to get out of captivity, so I'll just do whatever you want under duress. And it's like, that's not in your script. Like, what happened to your script? I think he pled no contest to all the charges they threw at him. The new baby is swell as long as it's not nighttime. Then he's I guess he's exactly like me. He's trying to be up in the middle of the night, which is just not fun. Left Turn, WFM, member for 5 months. Panel of losers, 1,000%. Like, old Sarge Finkel, again, has come at me sideways. I don't want to say old Sarge Finkel's like a piece of crap like the other two, but he's tried to come at me when I was like on Frauditor Trolls live stream about where my carrier went in the Persian Gulf and how no carriers go there. And it's like, well, carriers have been going there the entire time I was in the Navy. So like, what are you going on about? Like, how can you tell me that my carrier didn't do something where I was on the ship doing that thing? Is Gideon some KFAR sci-fi name that you were forced into? I believe we found it on the internet because we were just going back and forth with just random baby names. If Mrs. KFAR wants to put up his whole name. I was cool with Gideon because, of course, Criminal Minds. All right. Let's do this until Mrs. KFAR throws that up.
Andrew Wilson.
Andrew. I mean, well, they both do the same thing, though, which is kind of pathetic in itself, is they manufacture this YouTube drama, right? It's not real life shit. It's just...
I manufacture YouTube drama. I'm basically, I don't want to say I'm poor man's CoffeeZilla. I'm like the Dollar Tree. I'm like the Dollar Tree minus a bunch CoffeeZilla. Like, I will expose these people with zero drama. I put out the factual information to the point where they should say, I'm sorry, I will do better. Yeah, Gideon Oliver. Oliver for Green Arrow. That's why I was cool with that one as well, because I'm a nerd. But yeah, I apparently manufacture drama. I put out Josh's criminal history, have pointed out where his sovereign citizen logic is extremely flawed. Lawyers have done that. The Supreme Court has done that, and judges have done that. But I'm the one starting drama. Again, what are they doing right now? They're intentionally spreading misinformation about a man who's just better than them. I don't want... Yeah, is Chris muted? You've never seen him be quiet for so long? I think he might be out drinking or something, taking a break. Yeah, Chris's entire channel is drama. They say that I'm manufacturing drama. All I'm doing is simply responding to the nonsense that they say. Me putting out factual information and telling them to, like, I don't know, don't chug rubbing alcohol. That's about as drama as I put out. But then you have people like this, instead of trying to correct me with factual information, instead of trying to bring anything to the table, they want to make up nonsense with the trust me, bro technique. The truth is drama if you are a con man. Exactly. Like, how many times has Josh said something and been proven wrong? His entire channel is based off that. We all watched all 3 Dummy Kruger videos, which made Chris look like just a gigantic con man. And instead of saying, thank you, Dummy Kruger, I will do better, thank you, he tried to lie. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. And it's like, well, you said something, and then Dummy Kruger followed your path, asking the same questions or better questions about the topic, and you were wrong. My favorite part of Dummy Kruger's video, well, there's two of my favorite parts, where Chris said something in a live stream a while ago. Oh, there's only this many trailers in that trailer park, and this address doesn't exist. And then Dummy Kruger went in and said, no, I actually called them. Here's the recording. That not only does that address exist, but there's actually this many trailers in the trailer park. My favorite part out of those two is when Chris says, oh, I didn't beat a woman. And then the judge in the video says, what is it? They were talking about why he was there. He's like, yeah, don't hold a girl at gunpoint against her will. And it's like, the judge said that on video. That was 25 years ago. I had nothing to do with that. 25 years ago, I was 8 years old. I sure as shit didn't have anything to do with it 25 years ago. Dummy Kruger, last time I talked to him, he's on vacation. The man did what he had to do, and he rode off into the sunset for a while, and he's apparently coming back. So this is the problem. I have another thing to talk about. I might address it in another live stream. I want to get a hold of this frauditor first to ask him what the fuck he's talking about before I go and annihilate him on the internet. These people will try their best to, Chris does it a lot. He will try to copyright strike you to prevent the truth of him about him to getting out. Because the thing that they don't want is they don't want the truth about them getting out because it ruins the calm. It ruins the grift. Like, what was it? Oh, God. He struck one of Dummy Kruger's videos. And I don't think Dummy Kruger ever put it back up. But I don't know the situation. I just know that's probably not back up. But it's like, Chris does XYZ and then wants no one to correct him. He wants to put out random shit. You'll see it on Twitter a lot. They will throw something up there thinking, I'm good to go. And then right underneath it, it'll be like, the fact checkers actually say what's up. Which carrier were you on? You were on 66 and 69. What year were you on 69, phone guy? But yeah, the greatest thing Chris does is he will start a GoFundMe. I'm going to call it a GoFundMe scam. That's my opinion. If you knowingly start a GoFundMe for fraudulent reasons, or, I have to get this attorney to fight this knowingly false lawsuit, or I have to get this attorney to try to defend me for something I'm guilty of, I'm going to call that a scam. And then people call out those scams and he says, oh, you're lying about me. You're defaming me. And it's like, no, it's the facts of the situation. KTZ, you know somebody who also likes to use the copyright tactics. That's a loser move. I think I know who you're talking about. And I'm pretty sure when he tried to copyright strike me, YouTube told him to get bent.
It's just metaverse drama, right? And to me, it looks catty and like a bunch of bitches. So for me, it's a little pathetic.
Starting drama is catty and makes you look like a bunch of bitches. So what, is this just a panel of bitches? Like, that's literally what you're doing. You're saying something is bad, and then you're doing that said thing. Like, have a little bit of intellectual honesty.
But
Captain Clown, yes, that as well. Going back in time, ruining Griftifer's business with bad reviews. He accused me of leaving bad reviews on his business. At some point, I did know his business, but it was only after he made these claims, and I already forgot because it's not big enough for me to care. There were bad reviews on his business from before I even had a YouTube channel and from before I even knew who this motherfucker was. But it's my fault that those reviews are bad from 5 years ago. Like, what logic is that?
But
I agree.
yeah, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Broken Fist.
Pathetic is going to a court Zoom and declaring Sean Reyes as your personal Christ figure. Shit, he's name dropped me in court before. Like, how about you take care of your business? How about you take accountability for your actions and move on with your life? Now he's going to name drop YouTubers. He name dropped Artie early on, and it's just like, what did he say? Oh, you told me to contact an attorney. I talked to an attorney on YouTube via the live stream comments, and it's like, Artie's not your attorney. They make that very clear in his live streams. He's not your attorney. It was you blabbering on in the live chat of a live stream, and he's not even a Michigan attorney. So who are you talking to? The original Vintage became a member. Oh, thank you. Hey, Mrs. Schrodinger's cat, welcome. How has everyone been? I believe everyone is swell. And to pick you up, to catch you up on some new information, I had a new baby last week. He's pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's just keep this moving.
My shout out and compliments to the show was to the host. The two belligerents had coordinated with that host to run a moderated debate or argument or whatever you want to call it. And I thought she did great. If we ever again have two known belligerents on, it'll be something like that. Probably not done nearly as well as Raging Tomato did. But yeah, I didn't have a dog in the fight between the two belligerents. I was shouting out the way the host managed it. And I guess, long story short, if somebody's up here, even if somebody I like better is in the basement, I'm not going to let them up unless it's pre-coordinated like that was. But I ramble. So you guys go ahead and ramble now. I'm going to shut up for a minute.
He's been rambling this whole
something
time.
in here if y'all don't mind. To back what Broken Trust just said a little while ago, the only reason I even knew who KFAR or his channel even was is because he initiated an attack on Tiffany's kids. He, along with...
What? Excuse me, what? When did I attack anyone's children? What? This is on old Sarge Finkel, I believe, from yesterday at some point.
With three others, it was Frauditer Troll, fell for it. It was all because of Tiffany's ex-husband, William. But Frauditer Troll fell for it. Michael Kaiser ate it up like it was, poop on a candy stick. Because he does eat out of people's buttholes, usually men, probably. And then KFAR jumped right on because he is.
When did I do that? That's a good question.
No better than Michael Kaiser. The only difference is he probably hasn't committed a murder yet.
So the guy who has a violent criminal history is trying to say that I haven't murdered someone yet. Okay. All right. All right, Chris.
It's some idiot that's gone now that nobody ever sees anymore. There's some little twerp called Aztec Ninja or something like that. I don't remember. But
Aztec Ninja was the guy who brought For Public Safety to light because For Public Safety kept saying, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. And to my knowledge, never fucking did. And the fact that Chris, let me just check on my phone here. Let me just check on my phone here because the Chris thing kills me. Chris does this thing where he will pretend, oh, I don't even really know who he is. I don't even really know who he is. Dude, you've made several live streams just talking about me. So clearly you know who the fuck I am. Let's see here. His last video from 8 hours ago. He has 62,000 subscribers. His last video from 8 hours ago, 1.9 thousand views. His video from 4 days ago, trying to grift off of the Carolina Fort Worth nosedive, 56,000 views. Oh, my bad. 5.6 views. 2 weeks ago, 10K. A month ago, 5. And then we will go to my page. I have 13,413 subscribers, Thanks, all of you. My video from 6 hours ago has 7.2 thousand views. Like the last few videos, 6.2, 10K, 9.3, 7, 8.1, 7.1. Why am I getting better views from a guy pretending that he doesn't know who I am? It's like you have 5 times the amount of subscribers as me and pulling down less views. But yeah, sure, you don't know who I am. That makes sense.
But that was the ones who were attacking Tiffany's kids. Now, at the time, Tiffany and I were...
And also, I've talked to the father, at least one of the fathers of those kids. They're doing better now that they're not seeing Tiffany than they have been lifetime. So how in the fuck am I attacking them if I can talk to one of the fathers? I'm pretty sure if I was attacking one of the children, the father that I talked to would go, "Can you not do that?" But that's not how it is. So this is another thing where Chris is being intellectually dishonest to his subscriber base to try to make me look bad when you're saying, trust me, bro, but the facts of the situation read completely differently. Okay, let's just put this into perspective. Who's attacking Tiffany's kids? The guy exposing I almost compared their name or combined their names. Chris and Tiffany getting a restraining order, a knowingly false restraining order against one of the fathers, and then them saying, okay, cool, we'll get child support from Tiffany now since she wants to be a deadbeat. Who's attacking the kids there? You attacking the actual fathers caring for the kids, or me exposing to people making those attacks? Like, this is like the easiest thing if you have any common sense to peg leg finance. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Accurate. Mrs. Schrodinger's cat, it is good to hear that you and the family are doing okay. It's good to see you around again. It really is.
Now we're completely like ignorant to the YouTube drama. You know what I mean? Like the concept of some kind of
Coffee break
division between quote unquote auditor, anti-auditor. I don't even know what, like, I still don't know what that's supposed to mean. But anyway, yeah, they attacked her kids. That's what they did. They attacked her freaking children, you know, and yeah, that got my attention. And the first thing I did was what any logical, sane, protective parental figure would do. And I found out who it was.
First off, you're not a fucking parental figure. Second off, this is the coffee I'm drinking. Yes, the bag is as big as my head. Dark roast or no roast, you know what I'm saying? But this is the problem. Being a parental figure, if you were a good parental figure, you would stop doing what you're currently doing. If you were a good parental figure, you would tell Tiffany to smarten the fuck up and fix her life. But instead of doing that, you want to make threats to people. You want to make false claims about people. Like, it's, again, if I were in any of these people's situations facing massive charges, like broken system, broken trust, still running from a warrant. I showed that in the last live stream that I covered him. Still running from a warrant out of Taylor, Michigan. 4 public safeties literally facing double-digit charges. Delete your channels, put your head down, get through it. Maybe just stop making content, put your head down, get through it. But instead, they're up on panel doing this, making knowingly false claims. Where are my cookies? Yeah. If you guys have seen the drama community, they accuse me of always eating cookies on stream. The thing is that I haven't eaten a cookie in like a year on stream. I haven't eaten anything other than like a slice of pizza or a sandwich in like a year and a half on stream. But hey, KFAR 1000%. These guys would live stream their child's birth, anything for a view. Do you know how many times I was tempted to live stream my child being born? 0, because Mrs. KFAR would jump out of the bed and strangle me. Yes, Chris does. Chris is a bad parental figure. Tiffany is a bad parental figure because they hang out with people on the registry. Being a father of 5 kids, I don't know if I'm going to get banned for this. People on the registry should meet a wood chipper. But instead of thinking like that, Chris thinks I should befriend them and start streaming with them, and I should start frauditing with them. SS Sniper Wolf cookies? Yes, 1000%. Yeah, I wouldn't have time anyway. Giving birth takes like 3 seconds.
The real people behind the screen names who were doing it. And we went to the courthouse and we filed appropriate legal action. And in that, you get a little bit of more resources to, like the legal system has some resources to help you.
So what he's admitting is he knowingly filed false legal paperwork to try to get our information to make threats. That's what he's saying right now, which again, if I told you guys, yes, I'm filing knowingly false legal paperwork so that I can get people's identities and threaten violence on them, I'm pretty sure everyone would leave my channel. But when Chris does it, it's okay.
You learn exactly who these people are. And from there, you can pretty much use, available resources per the internet to dig a little deeper. So I did find out where Kevin's previous employers were. And I did contact them to find out if he has any credibility to his claims on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, he was a jailer, and based on his YouTube demeanor, my guess is that he probably tortured some folks. Well, he probably...
No, that's someone in your community. Georgia Transparency did that, not me. He was in a prison, I was in a jail, slightly different. In 2 years, I managed to rack up exactly 0 prisoner complaints, and he racked up, 63? And he even got fired because he wouldn't show up. So it wasn't even 2 years. It was like a year and a half or a year. And now this is going to be broken system, broken trust, making more claims about me with no proof.
Probably wouldn't call it torture, but he probably found a sadistic way to fucking torture these folks. I can't prove it because I don't know. So I'll be happy to reach out to you in private.
I was actually a real cool jailer. I think I've told you guys before, if somebody wanted to fight me, instead of fighting them right away, I would give them a sandwich and juice. And normally giving someone a sandwich and juice when they're drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, that solves a lot of problems. Did I torture anyone? No. Because there's cameras everywhere. You would get caught like that if you did anything to anyone. Have I fought somebody in jail? Yes, because if they swing on you, you're going to put them down. That's just the name of the game. But this is another thing of, trust me, bro, but I might not be right, but I'm just going to throw it out there. That's what his whole game is.
I just wanted to hop in here real quick. I'm going to get off here. I thought you had to leave in 15 minutes there, Finkel, but
I don't know if my co-hosts are going to come up and take over or not. I have to go personally. And I'm currently hosting. I have co-host Ario, Muckster, and Killing Time. I have no idea if they're going to come up and take it over or not. But
yeah, Chris, just reach out to me. My email's in my about section. Just email me, bud.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing that information. Just what information I got on him, I'll send to you, and you can do.
It would be hilarious if they actually contacted when I worked at Office Depot. That would be hilarious. Or when I worked at the bingo hall right out of high school. That would be hilarious.
Your own research. I don't really want anything to do with these punks. I mean, they're just...
Then stop talking about me. Then stop talking about me. It's really that simple. If you don't want anything to do with me, take responsibility for your actions. You're facing double-digit charges. Plead guilty, take your spanking, and you won't hear from me again. Just delete your channel. Like, I cover liars and frauds everywhere. Whether it's a bad mayor, a bad DA. Me and KTZ, we're trying to get together on Wednesday to cover a bad lawyer from Michigan who broke into somebody's house with a gun, knife, crowbar, duct tape, and zip ties. I'll cover frauditors. I'll cover sovereign citizens. I'll cover dumb people in general, like my video that I'm going to put out for tomorrow. It's a dumb criminal doing dumb shit. I will cover anyone as long as there is a good enough reason. Chris keeps giving me good enough reasons. If you keep breaking the law and then going, nuh-uh, I didn't do that. Nuh-uh, I will cover it. If you tell me, oh, I didn't beat a woman, and then you got assault when the only victim in the case was a woman, yes, I'm gonna expose that.
internet
I mean,
warriors, and
yeah, the
After this stream, if these people don't want to deal with me anymore, I should get 2 emails. Chris saying, I'm sorry, and Broken System, Broken Trust saying, I'm sorry, I will turn myself in on my warrants. But if they don't talk about you, they'll have to talk about themselves, and they suck. Exactly. Responsibility is like kryptonite to these guys, KFAR. 1000%. Kim, I ate an entire tube of cookie dough the week we put our dog to sleep. I must have missed the context of that. I'm sorry to hear about your dog, but I was reading stuff about them and then saw a tube of cookie dough, and I'm like, it piqued my interest. Chris is a bully, and when everyone made fun of him, he's getting locked in an elevator. He lost it. He used the bully people who can't fight back. Y'all did. That's the thing. It's just like, he never will, Rob. That's the thing. He never will. He's going to let these larger channels come up and say whatever they want because they're larger than him and he wants the views. Oh, God. This is just the problem with frauditors. It's just like they insulate themselves so much. This is going to come as a shock to you guys. I am blocked from both Broken System, Broken Trust page and For Public Safety's page. Why? Because when they post things, I will correct it in the comments, and I got blocked. They have had to carefully insulate themselves so that they are the higher power, so that nobody can say anything bad about them. He's a crybaby, yes. He's going to bully anyone weaker than him, and if you decide to fight back, he's going to cry about it and play victim. Oh, yeah, Victoria B. That is what happened with Broken System, Broken Trust. This dude talked so much game. He's facing 3 charges of police interference. They have him dead to rights. He recorded it. And instead of coming to court during his jury trial that they had set up, I was ready to live stream it too at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Didn't sleep so that I could cover it. Didn't show up, ran to Illinois to go panhandle in Chicago. But he's here talking all this game, knowing he has a warrant on his head.
the more you feed them, the more they're going to come around. So, I mean, it's kind of tricky. I can't tell anybody what to do if I'm trying to navigate it myself.
Let me stop you. I am way past that concept. I wish people would stop thinking that these cancers are going to go away if you ignore them. These cancers are not going to go away if you ignore them. Like that concept, that ship has sailed, guys. Let me tell you, if they were going to go away from being ignored, they would have left me and Tiffany alone a long time ago.
It's you keep breaking the law. What's the Jim Carrey thing? Stop breaking the law, asshole. That's what Chris is living like. If you, some frauditors, I don't speak on because I don't particularly think they're doing anything wrong. Sometimes like a L Dope Dog will come across my desk and I'll say, yeah, he's being annoying, but he's not doing anything wrong. But then there's other times where somebody will use his name. I think they said Mr. whatever his last name is. And then he spent the next 20 minutes running around a state fair, swearing at kids, swearing at little old ladies, trying to like talk shit to the officers because they called him Mr. What's it called? Where I come from, that's showing respect. But to him, oh, you doxed me. You doxed me. Shut the fuck up, L Dope Dog. If Chris didn't want me to cover him, he would stop breaking the law. Simple as that. Why don't I cover all of Chris's videos? Because in some of his videos, he doesn't do anything wrong. Being annoying isn't a crime. Some people think being annoying should be a crime, but in a lot of these cases, he's not necessarily doing anything wrong. I've covered a few of his videos where I thought he did something wrong. That's it. Broken System, Broken Trust. L Dope Dog is legitimately mentally challenged. I 100% agree with you. I almost feel as if there is another frauditor controlling his channel. I thought the Michigan people did it with Josh, where they would bring him to a spot and just release him like a dinosaur and just record what happens. Because Josh has done it where they release him out of the car because he can't drive. They open up the back seat. He runs out, starts doing his Josh thing, and they just sit back and record it. So they don't get arrested, and Josh does, but they still get the footage. Rogue Nation started doing that with a bunch of newer frauditors when he was facing charges. He would bring these new frauditors, have them go out in front and then record it. And then like, yeah, and then just keep recording. But yeah, it's if they were going to go away, they'd have went away a long time ago. Stop doing the thing that brings us and we would go away. I tell people that all the time. Stop breaking the law and I will stop covering you. If you stop posting dumbass content, I will stop covering you.
We ignored them for over a year while they persistently attacked our.
You didn't ignore me if you threatened charges and threatened a lawsuit against me. You see how that's not ignoring me? If I say, yes, these are the legal documents I have about Chris, send. And your response is, I'm going to sue you if you don't take that down. That's not leaving me alone. I'm trying really hard not to swear. That's making threats to me. Clear as day. Anyone with common sense can say, facts come out, you threaten a lawsuit. The lawsuit guy is in the wrong. Mike, yeah, I saw that. I covered that in a live stream because Josh is so fucking stupid.
Our children, they attacked our character, they slandered us. I mean, here's how stupid they are. Michael Kaiser has been saying that I don't have a job since the first time my name came out of his ugly little lying mouth.
It's called projection.
The dude literally played one of my videos, my advertise. I was playing around with a new editing thing before I had a YouTube channel, and I used my business to kind of edit together a little, like music in the background, some photos of the work. I did that on one of my, recent jobs at the time. And this idiot goes on his channel and plays my advertising. And at the time, in the same breath, he's saying, but Chris doesn't have a job. He's
exactly. How do you attack the character of someone who has none? Crazy, right?
It's my work on the screen.
Hey, I have a real quick question before I hop down though. Did that Tyrants Beware guy? Did he actually call CPS on Kevin? Does anybody know? I'll ask him. I'll ask him directly if I have the opportunity. I'm just saying because
I don't know. But
I'm going to tell you what should happen, and then we're going to play it. I haven't watched this far yet. We're 8 minutes past where I stopped watching. What everybody on panel should say right now, if they were intellectually honest, is how dare Tyrants Beware do that? We condemn him for filing or calling and making knowingly false claims against KFAR. We want nothing to do with him. We don't have any connection with him. That's what all 5 people on panel should say. Let's see what they say.
But if he did, I don't even give a shit because, listen, first of all, I also agree that these types of people should not be around children. So, but
you have been around 2 sex offenders that you've streamed with. Yet you're telling me that because I'm legally and factually correct, I shouldn't be around children. It seems like your missus is the one who has a problem being around children.
I also don't agree that CPS is the right agency to make that determination.
I would like to concur with that. In my opinion, from where I'm standing, Bill Meadows, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is at least emotionally abusing children.
100%.
I'll say that manufacturally. 1 hour and 54 minutes into this stream, Bill Meadows is emotionally abusing children. And who cahoots with him abusing those children is JJ Scarborough. Yes, yep. I said it. JJ Scarborough is in cahoots with emotionally abusing these children. Yep. And Fraud at Wrangler, also known as Michael Kaiser.
So that's not happening whatsoever, to my knowledge, because I follow his bowling channel. I believe it's him and his daughter's channel. She is really good at bowling. I guess they had a bowling tournament or bowl regularly for a team. JJ and Wrangler sponsored the team to give them shirts and shit like that. How is that emotionally abusing children? Personally, I would think the people knowingly making false claims about the guardian of those children would be emotionally hurting those children. I personally think that they're angry at them because they're making Tiffany pay child support. I think that's why they're coming at these people so hard.
Michael Kaiser is involved in other children, like a 12-year-old on his channel that people wanted him to teach the birds and the fucking bees to. I'm pretty fucking pissed off about that, Michael Kaiser. And while I'm on a rant with Michael Kaiser and I only got 10 minutes left, I am going on vacation, and part of my vacation is meeting 2 former Marines who worked with Donald Atwater Cameron. I don't know what's going to come out of this conversation.
Yes.
But
B&B Bowling. Go and subscribe to B&B Bowling. Tell them KFAR sent you. It's literally bowling content. Who has a problem with bowling content? Apparently, if you have your kids bowling for a free pastime or like a pastime, apparently that means you're emotionally abusing them. I've bowled like my entire life, had my own ball, had my own shoes, had a nickname. Like, I was about that life. Bowling is awesome. If you can get your kids into bowling, get your kids into bowling. But apparently these people think if you get your kids into bowling, that's mentally abusing them.
Michael Kaiser, I think I will be reporting on that when I come back from my vacation.
And don't forget, Kevin. Kevin has assisted Kaiser in the abuse of children.
When was this? When was this, Chris? What did I do exactly? Me exposing their mother as a shit stain and her boyfriend as a shit stain isn't harming children. Sorry. You attack somebody, and in response, I put out some facts about a situation. Shuffleboard is life. Hey, that's fair. I'm going to have to get into shuffleboard. My knees aren't exactly what they used to be. I have also had to change my bowling technique because my body isn't what it used to be. I used to be able to bowl. Now I have to 2-hand bowl. It's a whole thing. But yeah, it's into bowling. That's the most upper Midwest thing ever. I'm from Michigan, baby. We bowl. Shit, I was in a bowling alley since I was like 5 years old. Yeah, apparently because I had the nerve to speak out about criminals in an area that I used to live in and frequent, apparently that means I was abusing children. But you just heard him say, a man who made a knowingly false call to CPS about me, he was completely in the right. And Chris thinks that I shouldn't have my kids. And because reasons?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and
oh no, I'm not like fat. I weigh 210 now. I've slimmed down like 20 pounds. I still run like 4 miles like a few times a week. It's that my joints from sports and running are jacked. My ankles are jacked. My knees are jacked. My back is jacked. And from just throwing a ball my whole life and bowling my whole life, my right shoulder and my right elbow are completely gone. I want to get back into softball, but I used to be able to throw like a mile, like, you know, what is his name? Uncle Rico. I used to be able to throw it over those mountains, but I had to change my whole way I like throw because it's just gone.
Guys, I'm going to hop down, but I know the one rule in life is that if you want to fuck a situation up even worse than it is, call the government and ask the government for help. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
Just keep doing that, folks. Keep getting the government involved in your affairs. Things will work out great. Okay?
Well,
I'll leave it on that.
Remember, though, broken system, it is the law. If we want to be law abiding, okay, like you know you have to. So if you want to be law abiding, the government has the law written. It forces you to use them. It forces you to need them. So
well, that's a whole different conversation for a whole nother day. I got to drop down off here though, but we can pick back up on those sorts of conversations because that's like that's.
So this is what they fail to realize, and they're two shining examples of this. I'm trying to bring up a picture real quick, so I'm gonna try to do that and talk at the same time. If it wasn't for the government forcing these people to do what is legally correct, they wouldn't fucking do it. Josh already thinks nobody has jurisdiction over him because he said so. Chris right now is in a situation where the law and the government are saying one thing and he's saying a different thing. So if it was in Chris and Josh's world here for a second, if the law says one thing and they disagree, it just shouldn't count. I've gone over it time and time and time and time and time again with sovereign citizens. Oh, I didn't give you guys consent. Well, if you kill someone, you don't need to give consent. You can't just kill someone and say, nah, it's cool. I said it was cool. I don't consent. It's fine. And then just walk off. If you threaten an underage girl, I could be wrong. I'm going to try to do this from what I remember. It's not exactly the steel trap it used to be after, a handful of concussions. If I recall, Chris said something about JJ's house, daughter, that he was going to go over there to an underage girl's house, be waiting in his underwear with his gun. Congratulations, that's a crime. He doesn't think so, so he thinks he should just be able to go on about his day. That's why the government is there, to hold you accountable when you refuse to hold yourself accountable. Yeah, so I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. If Josh is on panel with anyone, he gets trashed. The only reason he's not getting trashed here is because this is an echo chamber. Him and Chris are both, again, make Forrest Gump look like a Mensa candidate. That's just what it is. Dueling used to be a solution to problems. I'm not going to give my opinion on that, but I think mutual combat should be a thing, and then I'm just going to leave it at that, because that would solve a lot of problems. Make dueling great again. You're a New Jersey import and didn't know competitive mopping was a sport till I got here. Hey, America will make a sport out of anything if you're good enough. And I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, Chris has at least 2 felonies waiting. If it wasn't for the government, Chris would still think, I did nothing wrong. That's why we have the government.
That's a live stream in itself. But
Yeah,
take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining. And as you just saw, anytime you come up on my panel, I am open to you restreaming to your channel. Hell, you can even stream snipe me without coming up on my panel. I have none of this silly, you're stealing my content. This isn't content. This is a discussion. For those content.
And I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I don't know what he's about to say. I don't care. Josh has legitimately stolen my content. Verbatim, word for word, stole my content. Guess who filed the copyright strike? Not fucking me. I've had people completely restream me, adding the bare bones to the point where YouTube was like, you want us to get that? And I'm just like, nah, it's fine. Because I don't care. Dueling did solve a lot of problems. Look at Alexander Hamilton. He lost a duel and got immortalized on the $10 bill and a Broadway musical. And what did Aaron Burr get? Nothing. So that just proves that sometimes you win and sometimes you get on the $10 bill. It's one of those things where it proves that winners don't actually get to write the history. Let's see how much more of this we can get, because it's been an hour and 13 minutes and I hear fireworks.
Quote creators out there like Michael Kaiser, KFAR. The only one of them that does have his own content is generally specific. He does cooking and gardening. Those other two do not have content. They
I regularly go out and stream the fucking sidewalk. So this is another thing where everyone on panel should be like, actually, old Sarge Finkel, they do have content. Right now, what am I doing? I'm correcting a bunch of morons on a panel spewing misinformation. Someone call that content.
stream other people's content and they have conversations. That's all I'm doing here is having conversation, and I don't copyright my conversations with these other gentlemen.
Hey,
I see Ariel is on, and he's one of my moderators.
We have 3 minutes left, so anyone got any last words before Finkel has to go?
Can I ask a favor? Would you consider allowing Good Citizen to come up here in their real name, use his or her real legal name, and just tell me why he or she hates me?
So I'm going to put that down before I get fucking demonetized for that. For public safety, doesn't have his face up and doesn't use his real name. Yet he's demanding someone who doesn't like him because of all the information, all of the factual information, all the legal information that has been exposed about Chris, they don't like him. But Chris is demanding that person dox themselves, even though Chris is intentionally hiding his identity. Like, yeah, we know it, but I need a camera, bra, then I'll be legit. I'll pass on that. Yeah, good citizen, as you should have. There is no reason for you to have put your real name on there when no one on panel is using their real name. Yeah, it's not hard to look at a woman beater and go, I don't fucking like you. I do it all the time.
I just would like to get like a reasonable answer.
We usually don't allow bitter enemies up, but if it's pre-coordinated, if you're asking, if good citizen accepts, by sure. By the way, who owns the stage of two belligerents is the one who's currently on stage. So good citizen, if you'd like to come up and address for public safety, you're more than welcome.
If I were you guys, every single person in chat, I wouldn't use your real name and I wouldn't use a real picture of yourself. I wouldn't use your real email because these people will hurt you. They have proven it time and time again. They will go out of their way to hurt you. Whether it's, calling your employer, telling them some bullshit story to try to get you fired, they will do that. They've already shown they will call CPS on you simply for exposing their idols. Something that happened to me. I had 2 frauditors show up to my home with the intent of hurting me. Now, when I came outside, that their intentions probably changed, but these people are out to hurt you if they can get your information. Chris just said he filed knowingly false documents to try to get people's information so he can threaten them. So if I were you guys in the chat, don't have your real name, don't have your real picture, don't use your actual email, because these people that I cover will try to hurt you.
You don't.
Oh, yes, and that too. Navy girl's right. Good citizen. He wouldn't have let you speak anyway. 1,000%. He's trying to get you up on panel, which we already showed was an echo chamber, so that he can talk shit to you. You'll probably get muted so you can't respond, and then they'll boot you off and then tell Chris, oh, you're so smart. You're such a hard ass. You won. They're keyboard warriors at best.
You don't have to show your face on panel, but you need to show your face to us before you come
Good point.
out.
Good point.
Yeah, but I don't understand why. I mean, my name is Chris Ryder. Good citizen knows that all too well. Good citizen.
Then why don't you change your name to Chris Ryder and show your face? But instead it's for public safety with a shit logo. I'm not going to say that my logo is better, but I think my logo is better.
Has no problem attacking me in my private personal life, not about my YouTube. So I would like for good citizen to be a human being's name up here with my name, Chris Ryder. Come up here like a real person, not an internet troll, and talk to me about the allegations that you've made against my family in our personal, private lives.
There's no accusations or claims. It's literally, I'm going to lay this out for Chris real quick. If I have documents from court, if I have police reports, if I have video of court hearings, it's not allegations. It's not anything. These are the facts. And you're saying you're doing the chili. Nuh-uh. I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings. If somebody makes a claim about you and your response is nuh-uh and don't have any proof about it, what the fuck are we even talking about? Just because I know this is going to piss off Chris. I could be wrong, but I believe this is My Brother's Keeper. I think I sent it to them. Let me bring this up. Open in browser so you guys can't see my whole Discord chat. Let me bring this up real fucking quick. Share this tab instead. Did it pop up? Of course it did. Yes, that is somebody that doesn't like Chris hanging out with Chris's mother, because even Chris's mother doesn't like Chris, which should just be sending up red flags for everyone. Let's get back to this and hear the next 5 minutes. Chris puts their lives on YouTube. Yes. I put this much of my life on YouTube because my life is not what my channel is about. It's about the people I cover. The news isn't about the news anchor. This isn't fucking Anchorman. The news is about the story being covered. The whole point is to not make the news about yourself. Now, if somebody goes and makes attacks on you for no reason, then you can respond. But even then, it's still about them making the false claims. It's not really about me. All right.
Now's your chance.
Yeah. So if you don't do it, then forever shut your damn mouth.
That's right.
Something.
I have a not fairly large channel. I've got 13,000 subscribers in a world where people have hundreds of millions of subscribers. I'm a small channel. I am not going to go on Finkel's panel with a hand-picked group of people because that's just dumb. Yeah, if Chris's mom is a troll, what is Chris? Hey. Oh, yes, Dumbwaiter did call his mother the C word. I do remember hearing that voicemail or whatever. J-Car, I literally did that this afternoon. I made the court video, where if you guys haven't watched the court video yet, it's about that same sovereign citizen. It's brand new today. I got suited up for it, wore my press pass. I was playing the role of your favorite court reporter today. After I got done, I wear contacts. Went upstairs, went to adjust my glasses that were downstairs and not on my face because I had contacts in. That's how much sleep I'm not getting. But also, yes, because you don't come up on my echo chamber panel, you can't ever tell the truth about me again. Like, what kind of logic is that?
It tells me they'll do neither, come up or forever shut their mouth. But the offer's out there if you want to come up.
Well, that's their go-to move. They genuinely, freedom of speech is for them and not for anyone else. If frauditors want to go to a police officer, a debunker, yada, yada, they will say whatever they want. Josh just did it. He tried to insinuate that I was trying to invite young children to my house to hang out with them. And he was also trying to say that I was torturing prisoners, that I was in charge of their well-being. And they'll claim freedom of speech. I will say this record from court from 25 years ago says Chris assaulted a woman. And they want me taken off the internet for not only using my freedom of speech, but accurately telling a story using my freedom of speech. But they can just spout off the mouth, have diarrhea of the mouth with no consequences. I tell the truth, and I'm hated by their entire community.
Anybody else? I'm going to have to lean on Ariel. Ariel, do you want to continue this after I leave, or do you want me to?
I'll wait maybe 5 minutes or whatever. Okay. We'll see.
Oh my God! So, good citizen, you think that I'm a public figure because I have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, you're a public figure. Sorry, you're a public figure, and not only are you a public figure, you are a newsworthy individual. If you show up to court because the court's trying to hold you accountable, and people, journalists, independent journalists who work on YouTube want to come and record you and get the story out, that's a thing. I'm sorry if that hurts Chris's feelings. If you get on YouTube and try to be a content creator, you kind of lose the ability to not be recorded going into a public courthouse.
Your name is on YouTube as good citizen. You're a public figure then. If that's what you think, look at the excuse. I only have an iPhone. So what? Use your iPhone, hit the StreamYard link, come up. And
iPhone works. You just have to use
Buster has an iPhone. He comes up sometimes with his iPhone.
Excuses. This just shows these people are pathetic. Good citizen, you're pathetic. I don't care if you're a 73-year-old.
A woman beater is trying to call someone else pathetic. Does anyone else find that comical?
A woman or a 20-year-old boy, you're pathetic. To attack people's kids and character and slander their positions at work that actually do have jobs, supporting murderers and thieves. You're pathetic. And don't talk about rights. Nobody cares about your comments.
He was going to say, don't talk about your rights because no one cares about your rights. That's what Chris was about to say, which tells you everything you need to know about him.
You've proven yourself to be worthless in comments.
I'm going to emulate Mr. Generally Specific and say you're welcome.
Yeah, and good
I fought
citizen.
for your right to say stupid shit. Go ahead and say stupid shit.
We don't make money off of this channel either, good citizen. Just letting you know, so you can come up
Good
here freely.
citizens. Good citizens accusing us of being public figures because we're on a panel, I guess.
You're a public figure. You've went out into the public and made yourself a public figure. You regularly post on YouTube, making you a public figure. You have 63,000 subscribers. Congratulations, you're a fucking public figure. Am I technically a public figure? Sure. I put myself out there. I'm a public figure, sure. Chili would say that everyone's a public figure and everyone should be doxxed. If somebody in your own community thinks that they're a public figure, why don't you think you're a public figure? You're definitely not a fucking journalist.
I wish I thought I cared about what you thought about me. Well, you're always following for public safety around, commenting. Apparently, you care what you.
Because for public safety is always going around lying.
Not just commenting, literally damaging my character and reputation and slandering me.
If I say something, again, I've gone over this 50,000 times. If I have court documents, if I have arrest records, if I have on video evidence of a court hearing, and I quote what happened in that court hearing or quote what's on that piece of paper and then show said piece of paper, how am I defaming you or hurting your credibility? Oh, you know what? Sure. I'm hurting your credibility with factual information. Are you really going to try to sue me over? I can see it now. Mr. Kfar, the claim is that you hurt this person's reputation. Yeah, I called him a woman beater. Well, is he convicted woman beater? Yep, here's the record. And then they're going to look at Chris and go, why the fuck are we even here, bro? Got a moth in my office. Don't know how I made it down here. I've learned to hate the word community. I don't like the word community because if you are in a community, one person fucks it up, the community as a whole looks bad. So that's why I'm a standalone lone wolf channel that covers some of the same things that other people do.
And my business.
These people remind me of, you ever seen two cats in the yard like staring each other down? And every now and then they'll pretend like they're bored, they'll lick their paws and they'll kind of look around and they'll quickly look back at the other cat. Yeah, that.
KTZ, he's very unlikable. Like I said, he's tried to come at their community is obsessed with not my criminal record because I don't have one. My military record, which is undeniably squeaky clean. And yet they will make claims about it. And they'll say I did XYZ when in reality I didn't do X, Y, or Z. They will make claims about my deployment history and say, oh, well, Finkel said carriers don't go through the Straits of Hormuz. We've fucking been doing it for over a decade, my guy. Like, what are you talking about? So he's very unlikable.
I don't really care about you. I'm just going to follow you around everywhere you go on the internet and trash your name. Yeah.
Well, obviously this is a moron of a human because they don't have any. There's no purpose for the things that they're saying right now. Like,
exposing a violent criminal has a purpose. Hi, how you doing? I've kind of made a whole channel based off of doing just that. I just need to let this play and be done. If a convicted violent criminal is going around intentionally lying about things and then gets on a panel like this and keeps puppeting those same things, and somebody happens to catch it and goes, hey, yeah, that's not true and here's why, maybe the person telling the lies should maybe correct their behavior.
it doesn't matter if YouTube has advertisers that decide my channel's worthy of using and I get money from it. Who cares? It's none of your business.
All the lonely people, where do they all come from?
Oh, that's just them talking crap, Chris. So, I mean, don't let them get under your
Oh, I
skin.
know. I'm just calling them out because, it
I
needs
hear
to be done. It needs to be done. These people need to be called out. They need to be put in the corner like little babies that they are.
And I bounced that other clown that was going by your name.
Oh, did you? Well, I'm
Do they not like free speech? Crazy.
more about getting toe to toe with them at this point, because like I said, pushing them out and running away from them and hiding them is not working. Like they are, consistently causing more and more and more. I mean, you all barely see us on YouTube anymore. You know, we're not even making content right now.
So people exposing you is making you not be on the internet. That's a win for everyone. That's a win for the world as a whole. Like, that's a net positive, this guy not being on the internet.
Because, well, there's multiple reasons. But one of those is because of the legal action that we're buried up to our noses in because of these fools.
Chris is now blaming you guys for his criminal behavior. Like, are we kidding right now? Like, instead of saying, I've caused myself to be up to my neck in charges and court nonsense. No, he's not going to say that. He's going to blame Detroes, as Jeremiah Payne would say. It's always Detroes. It's like, no, you recorded yourself breaking the law. And then even when you broke the law, when they told you to take it down, you said, nah. They only want an echo chamber. That's why they're starting to bounce anyone who apparently is talking to Chris.
Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds, wonderful name, opines that FPS, don't let these pathetic, lonely people get to you. It shows their lack of character, which reminds me of a song called Eleanor Rigby that sings about all the lonely people. And I just would like to opine before I have to leave. It's 11:58. I have to be out of here by noon. If you are not a Beatles fan, you're wrong. And I'll meet you on the battlefield, whatever the fuck that means. Anyway, everyone have a great day. It's your call, Ariel. Do I click end stream or do I click leave studio?
Okay, we're going to be done with that because there's 2 minutes left and Finkel's dipping out because he's got to do whatever at 12 o'clock. So we got here Rob Crawford. Yes, we made him threaten a child. I went back in time 25 years and made him assault a woman. Like, at what point? These people all suffer from the same character flaw. They refuse to take responsibility for their own actions. Yes, hey, the adults are talking. All of us are Chris's imposters. The imposter that did everything for Chris that he's now getting, held accountable for, it was us. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to smoke a marijuana cigarette in a trailer park and paid some fines, went to probation for Chris. And then 30 years later, this is happening. It's my fault. I did it when I was 8 years old. How dare I? Let's see here. Eagles better than the Beat. I'm not going to bring that up. Let's see here. Yeah, Finkel seems like this is going to be a weird thing. You'll see it a lot of times. I've been hearing a lot of it on my local sports news radio channel when I've been driving around lately. The Tigers, their owner or their general manager will go on to news broadcasts to selected places that don't throw him any hard questions. They just throw him meatballs that he can just hit out of the park. Old Sarge Finkel is that meatball thrower for all of these fraudsters. He's going to let you spill whatever you want to spill. He's not going to push back. He's not going to ask any hard questions. So he just let broken system, broken trust, and for public safety spew nonsense for 20 minutes. There was no, well, do you have any facts for that? Do you have any documents to back that up? Nope. Just let him spew nonsense. Yeah, KTZ, if you messed up in your past and you take accountability for it, I can't hate you. Like, broken system, broken trust to this day will say that his domestic violence conviction was wrong and nothing happened and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, dude, it's been a hot amount of time. Maybe you should take responsibility. Chris, instead of saying it was me, it was a joint, my guy. I don't care. Where I live, weed is legal. There are literally edibles in this counter or in this cabinet right now. I do not care. But it's the fact that you had to concoct a story about a imposter that did it for you and used your name. But then all of the documents and the video footage and all that stuff tells a different story. That's what we're upset about. We're not upset about the charge or the conviction. We're upset about the cover-up. Wendy's. Did you use the DoorDash app or did you use the Wendy's app? Because that could make all the difference. Let's see here. Yet they want all others to be accountable. Yes, it's about accountability for others and not themselves. Yeah, these people have never matured. They're still pretending they're 18, 16. And it's like, dude, or this. He was getting charged with domestic violence. What happened from what I read on his thing, he pled no contest or was found guilty or took a plea or whatever because it never went to trial, which means he took a plea. And he's trying to say there's literally video evidence of the judge saying exactly why he's there for holding his ex at gunpoint, yada, yada. And instead of saying, yes, I did that. I was young, dumb. I'm sorry. I wish it never happened. If I could go back in time, I would change it. Chris didn't do that. Chris is now saying, oh, no, there was actually a dude and a chick, and I got convicted of hitting a dude in a bar fight or something along those lines. And it's just like the court video and the court documents say otherwise, sport. Well, Vince, that is why I only do edibles, because weed does stink and I take them to sleep. So you have the little gummies and I cut them into pieces just to get me just to nod off. All right. On that note, we're gonna hop off here because I somehow went 22 minutes and 34 seconds and turned that into an hour and 36-minute video. Okay. I'm going to go help Mrs. Kfar in her Wendy's dilemma. Everybody have a good rest of your day. And again, don't go over and harass these people. Not Old Sarge Finkel, not BSBT, not for public safety, because they're not worth it. They're already living their shittiest lives. They're already in their 50s, high 40s, living shit lives. So just don't go and talk to them. Don't go and harass them. It's not worth it. Everybody have a good rest of your day. I sleep occasionally. I get a few hours from time to time. But yeah, everybody have a good rest of your day. Be safe. Don't be a frauditor. Don't be a Moore. Don't be a sovereign citizen. Don't be BSBT. And don't be Chris Ryder. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow.